bum, bada bum bum, bum, bada bum bum, bum, bada bum bum, bum, bada bum bum.
Dice, rolls, dragons, trolls.
Dadventurous.
Welcome to
Dadventurous.
We're coming back into an exciting episode. A real literal cliffhanger again. This time not a cliff so much as a tower, but still exciting.
Wait, have I had a literal cliffhanger before?
I think we did a literal cliffhanger at one point. You were hanging off the cliff of something.
You don't remember, do you?
No, I don't. But I feel like we've said the words literal cliffhanger before.
Yeah.
So
it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We did it at one point.
Maybe.
Anyway, welcome back.
Maybe you listeners will remember. We do not.
I make notes and I make plans, and both of them often get thrown out the window. So, Speaking of, we have today's episode, which was not at all what I expected it was going to be. Last week, you fought Zarr.
I fought Zarr Bloodhoof.
Or Zax.
Billsworth?
Yep.
Billsworth. Haha, I remembered it.
Zax Billsworth, Zarr Bloodhoof, same guy? What happened to Zarr? He got teleported away. He didn't die in the storm after all. He
got
Minotaured.
It's like metamorphosis.
Yeah.
It's like a metamorphosis, but metamorphosis. I don't know.
Minotaurosis. It's perfect. And you confronted him with Gunther. You made your way through City Hall Tower up to save your grandfather from the evil Zarr Bloodhoof. But when you showed up, Gunther was
having tea
and a nice sit and was ready to have a chat with Zarr. Because he learned that Zarr was his old teammate and friend, Zax. You want to know what happened? Why was he like this? Why was he being evil?
Why?
Gunther, so nice.
Why does he no longer need glasses?
It's true. These are the
questions. Or maybe Zarr just can't see.
And once he puts his glasses on, he'll turn good.
Maybe.
And you were confronted by the Minotaur boss leader himself. He burst into the office, declared you as his enemy, and charged into battle against a nameless cat person. He, partway through, summoned a massive scraper that he had control over. It burst its way through the wall. Meanwhile, you noticed that a storm of the wild magic variety
was rolling
and was starting to roll in.
/ the city.
The fight continued. You got a hold of the control mouse, another surged artifact.
So, you said it's a mouse, right?
Yeah.
Like a computer mouse?
Yep.
Okay. Because for some reason, I always imagined it as like a joystick.
I remember you saying that.
Little things.
It was a mouse.
Cool.
That was always my plan.
Cool.
And so you got a hold of it, and as you were looking out the window, you saw that the storm was getting much, much closer, and with it, more than you'd ever seen before.
Surge Scarabs. It took me a minute to remember the name.
Exactly. Surge Scarabs, named by Cabot Cranberry himself once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Maybe he'll make a returnance? No. Reappearance.
Or a returnance. Could be.
They're the same thing.
Yeah. And there were hordes of them, dozens, maybe 100, rushing through this wild magic storm and into town. People started screaming. The clouds darkened the sky. Rain started falling.
Pastel rain.
And these scarabs started sending out teleports. They were coming through. More and more were coming through. Somebody's sending them through. What's going on? And they started to climb. Wow. Climb the City Hall Tower.
Is that like galumphing?
Yeah, a seal movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clumbing the tower.
So question.
It's clumbersome climbing. What's up?
So how does that look? What is clumbing in your mind?
They're beetles, and so to climb this tower, it's not like a spider or something.
Where they can just walk on the wall.
They can walk on it. These beetles are having to gouge their little sharpie claws into the stone.
Ooh.
And drag their bellies, drag themselves up, bellies rubbing on the tower. That's what I think clumbing is. Maybe it's claw climbing.
Claw climbing and the
clumbing.
I like that.
And you looked down, great. You saw this, and against all assumptions
made by
me, admittedly,
I had a plan.
You decided to clamber on board the scraper, bid Zarr good day.
I said good day!
And have the scraper jump out and start sliding down the tower.
Woohoo!
And that, my friends, is where we are now.
Kia definitely squeals for the first, little bit.
Okay.
And then
so first and foremost, I will remind you of something that you said to me last time. Part of the reason why I thought you'd stay in the tower, you said you were excited because that wild magic storm was outside and you were in a past world building.
It's fine.
And you leap out and the first bits of that pastel rain hit you. And before we do anything, I would like you to roll a D100.
Oh no. Am I going to have bunny ears again?
Yeah, I think Beryl got that bunny ears, right?
And I got incontrollable flatulence.
You sneezed violently a prismatic spray once.
Yeah.
You had special armor, I think.
I got trapped in the middle of a tiny box.
And I'll roll for everybody too. So do you want to start with you, Gunther,
sure.
or Flibbit?
I got the 70.
Okay, so you got 70. Entertaining.
The sign that you're not laughing is
it's not as humorous as some of the other ones. You are sliding down this tower. Your scraper has leapt out of the building, clawed into the stone, and is scraping down the sides. The wind rushing against your face, the pastel rain. You look down, there's hordes of surge scarabs climbing up the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And you look down, and there's a cluster of them that are getting pretty close already. They're moving fast, and they're right beneath you. Suddenly, through the stone, a 100-foot tall oak tree bursts perpendicular out from the tower. And as you slide down, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
How fast are my mouse reflexes?
Yeah.
Saving throw?
Yep.
Great. 17.
You are able to use the mouse, press that button to the side, and get your robot scraper to adjust his slide. He digs one of his feet in it like a rudder, and he moves out of the way. As this tree bursts out, starts growing, branches start growing, and it is sideways in City Hall Tower, sticking out the side.
It's pretty.
And little leaves start falling in the wind.
Pretty.
Yep, it's beautiful. Yeah, you got the massive oak tree springing from beneath you.
I'm imagining an old video game, where it's one of those elevator scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Or and it's the pixel graphics and you have to move your little controller and it just slides to the side and you have to dodge all the little things coming up at you.
That's exactly what the kind of system is.
But obviously not a video game.
Can you please roll for Mr.
a tabletop RPG.
Can you please roll for Mr. Gunther?
Mr. Gunther, 95.
A 95? That's so high up on the list. Gunther.
I don't think anybody's gotten that high before. What?
Okay.
What? Oh, no.
I don't even want to do this.
What is it?
Okay, so the tree bursts out, right? And then in front of the caster, so in this case, this is Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
In front of him, in midair, as you are sliding down.
Wait, he's on the...
You're both on the scraper. We're going to say you're hanging onto its back.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And the scraper is sliding down, Flibbit hovering next to you guys, going down. Gunther goes, "Oh, Kia, this is real not great. What's going to happen?" And suddenly a portal opens up next to Gunther.
Oh, no.
But only this big, a little circle-sized, about the size of a fist.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it opens to a realm of infinite liquid.
Oh, no!
And the liquid begins pouring out of a portal.
What liquid is it?
Water. We'll say water.
Okay.
But from a tiny portal about fist-sized, a non-stop stream of water starts pouring down.
Wait, how long does this last?
It says for a few rounds, so we'll say for a couple minutes.
Oh.
But it's a stream of water pouring out like fire hose style. And it's just shooting water out, so now you have regular water mixed with pastel rain.
Maybe it makes an interesting color.
Okay, can you roll for Flibbit?
Yeah, great. What does Flibbit get this time? 63.
63.
Nothing below.
So far, nothing
yet.
too damaging. He gets the silliest one.
Flibbit always gets the silliest one.
The ground within 100 feet, but it does say the ground, so we're going to say beneath you as the tower. Beneath the tower suddenly becomes sticky gum. And you notice as some of the surge scarabs down on the bottom start sticking to this gum, and a strong waft of spearmint comes up.
Wait, is it like the pale, really pale blue that the gum? Oh.
Yeah, and it tingles the nostrils a little bit. Huh. So
it smells good.
You guys start sliding down. I said the tower was only 4 levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gunther, and you're not sliding down super quickly. That ring of feather fall keeping you from going too fast. You're sliding down at a slow pace. We're just doing it thematically.
Yep.
And Gunther looks over and he goes, Now, Kia, what's the plan here? There's so many of those beetles down there.
Get
out.
The plan is see if they chase us.
Okay.
Because if they don't chase us, then we're good. Kia honestly did not think of the plan beyond to deal with the scarabs at all.
I love it. Okay, so you are sliding down, and Flibba goes, I don't know what's going on here. There's lots of portals, though. Hang on. And you start going down through the first layer of this tower. You slide past, and I guess I said it was a total of 5 levels. So you're moving down to the 4th level. Each level, we are going to do a roll of sorts.
Okay.
As you slide down this tower. Also, I thought of the term for the scraper that you're on top of.
Oh, you did?
Scrubominable snowman. I don't know. That's what I came up
That's great.
with. But I imagine kind of like a Yeti.
No. That's great.
Scrubominable Scroman.
Scrubominable snowman.
There you go. You have the mouse controlling the scraper, and you start sliding down. Some of these magic effects hitting you. As you come down to the first one, wild magic effects starting to go crazy. There's a surge scarab coming up. Suddenly, poof, it explodes into rocketing, high-powered gumballs shooting in every direction that are hot, and they look like they will hurt. And another one explodes, and blades of grass that are sharper than any sword start zipping around.
Oh, it's like the serrated grass where if you run your finger the right way, it's fine, but if you run your finger down the wrong way, you cut yourself.
Pine cones from the oak tree start whipping around in the storm, going to hit you in the head. Huh? Acorns in the oak tree. Just start whipping around, flying high speed, coming at your head. You and Gunther are having to duck and hide. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for the first descent down in. And this is kind of for the party.
Guess what I got?
What'd you get?
With my plus, right? 23.
All right. So a 23, you easily dodge an acorn, dodge a blade of grass. A scarab tries to jump at you and you dodge it, and it suddenly poofs into a pile of chalk. And
my already kind of silver gray fur turns completely white.
Yeah. You're all covered in chalk. And you make it through the first. As you are descending, you hear a very, very loud roar from above.
Ooh, have any scarabs reached the open window yet?
Not yet. They're beneath you, but they are slowly making their way up.
Aha.
Do you want to look up and see?
Sure.
So go ahead and make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
4.
It don't matter.
25.
You look up and you do see a couple of the scarabs coming around from the backside of the tower. They were climbing up the backside, and they're scaling along the wall, using that maneuver. And you hear this roar from Zarr Bloodhoof, and you look up, and he is standing over the crack in the wall, looking down at you. And suddenly, Surge Scarab starts rushing into his room, and he kicks one off the ledge. He smashes another. And he does battle with the Surge Scarabs.
Woohoo! That was totally my plan all along. Definitely not just a fortunate consequence.
You got lots of ways to go. Section 2, you come down. You notice as you look away from Zarr and you look down, suddenly you can't see the ground anymore. And there's a sparkly mist in the way. But you don't have time to react. You go through. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution?
Yep.
My Constitution is actually not that bad. A 16.
Okay. So a 16, you pass through. You feel this itchiness in your nose. You feel this itchiness in your skin. It tingles. It feels like, is it going to burn? Is it going to start hurting? Is something going to happen? You feel like you need to sneeze. And then you break through the cloud and you were able to hold it in. Everybody on the scraper.
Wait, was that the prismatic spray sneezy dude?
No, that was a cloud of dust of choking and sneezing.
Ah, that's what I thought. Nice.
And so it felt awful, but you were able to retain it down.
Stopping yourself from sneezing is really hard, so I think
sure.
a Constitution saving throw is in order for that.
Yep. Okay. You hear, or can you make a perception check for me?
18.
18? Okay. You hear this like clattering surge of lots of little sharp feet. You look down, and suddenly there is a surge of scarabs coming through a portal that has appeared horizontally underneath the scraper.
Oh.
And scarabs are coming up. We need to have another dexterity saving throw as you try to dodge said portal and said surge scarabs.
Non-natural 20.
You're doing very good so
I've been
far.
rolling good.
Eventually this might bite you in the butt. We'll see. That's what I'm hoping anyway, as the DM who always rolls terribly. You are able to adjust the scraper to one side. A bunch of the surge scarabs comes up. We'll say you pull out your spoon sword and... There's one jumps off the tower and comes up, tries to bite at your feet.
I slice it.
You slice it. And
slice it across the purple underbelly or whatever they have.
Yeah.
Wait, do they have shells under there? Are they like turtles or do they have like...
They're like beetles, so it's like hard.
Okay.
But I wouldn't necessarily call it a shell.
Okay, so it's not like their little backs that have shells. Okay.
No. And you slash it, it falls down, it hits a bunch of the other ones, and then you are able to continue on.
Wait, does the portal close? Because otherwise do we go through it?
So, as you dodge to the side, your scraper going down, you finish slashing it out of the way. You look down before you can react.
Oh.
You go through a portal. This, in your head, you're like, what could this possibly mean? What is going to happen? You go through the portal. You are suddenly, chilly blast of air hits you.
Blast of air?
Mm-hmm. Snow hitting you in the face.
Snow?
Yep. High winds. And you transition from scraping and sliding down a building to suddenly you are in a snow-capped peak. And you are sliding down a cliff edge. And you look above you, and some of the surge scarabs are coming down through the portal from Scarlet Hill and following you into this area.
I look around.
Make a perception check.
Active perception check, or whatever it's called. Why do I keep rolling so good? Like, it's surprising. Because sometimes I roll really, really badly.
Well, don't call attention to it. You might start rolling bad.
23.
23. So, as you slide down, you are suddenly, you're freezing cold. Flibbit's next to you going, why is it so cold? And you hear this screech of a bird of prey.
Aha!
And you look over and you see, taking off from her perch.
You brought her back.
What was her name again? Is it Glaciera?
I think so. No, honestly, I don't remember. I think it was that.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have the notes?
Or you have the notes, I think.
I have the notes. I'm pretty sure it was Glaciera. Yeah. I don't remember.
So, you
have
the giant snowy rock bird that you created for our one-shot. She looks up towards the portal. She sees you on a scraper with your guy as you are sliding down, and then she sees all these surge scarabs pouring in and clattering down the mountain, these beasts, these magical creatures.
Dinner.
Coming through. And she takes off from her perch and she glides over, and at first you think she's coming right for you, and then she angles up a little bit and she just takes out a horde of them off of the cliff edge and like in 2 claws that are massive, grab up a bunch of these scrapers and fly them back down to her nest as she starts dropping them and screeching to the sky. Anything?
I was wondering if she'd come back.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you slide down. Suddenly, you look down another portal. And you make your way back through. And you're again along the the City Hall Tower.
Okay, because I was wondering if I ended up on in Athon or something, and that would have been
There's
really
still
awkward.
rounds of combat to go.
Okay. That was cool.
Please make for me another perception check as you come back through this portal.
Perception. Well, I did jinx myself. 13.
13? Okay. You're shocked. You just went through a massive portal. Everyone went with you. Gunther's like, what? What's happening, Kia? Are we gonna be okay? I've never been through a portal. Oh, wait. I guess technically I went through a portal to get here.
We'll be fine.
Nice. Suddenly, you are rocked from a jostle, and you look up, and you see Zarr Bloodhoof, who has leapt from the tower.
He literally just jumped.
And lands on the shoulders of the scraper, standing above you. His hammer gone. It must have been knocked from his hands. He is going to reach down and try to pick you up.
Me?
Yep. And so, can we please, for this moment, roll initiative?
Okay. Uh-oh. A 10.
A 10.
I was too surprised by the giant
Okay, can you please
snowy
roll
rock.
an athletics defensive check as he tries to grapple you?
Athletics?
Yep.
Aha! 18.
18. Okay, he reaches down to pick you up. He tries to grab you. He didn't roll high enough. His arm is injured. Covered in scrapes and bruises and blood and all this stuff.
Wait, does he show any sign of being woozy?
Being woozy?
Yeah.
He
lightheaded.
I think it'd be hard for you to tell, but he definitely seems off, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit and closes his eyes, but he's still standing there.
I had wondered if Zarr was too big to be affected by a single bite.
Well, don't know.
He is, of course, exactly 10 feet tall. So
He's huge by comparison. Gunther looks up at him and he goes, "Now, Zax, there's no need to keep being so angry." He's yelling over the thing. Anything you want to say? As Zarr goes, "You can never understand what I've been through," and his arm is kind of useless, so he's gonna, on his next turn, he would try to grab you with his other arm.
I think I say, perhaps you and Flibbit should have a talk.
And Flibbit's like, "What?" I don't want to talk to that guy.
I know you don't, but it's maybe you two have things in common.
And as you say that,
I'm extremely extrapolating here.
Yeah,
but maybe.
And Zarr roars with frustration, and he kneels down, and it looks like as he's riding down the scraper, he's going to try to reach for you one more time. Suddenly, poof, you feel yourself going through another portal.
Just me or the whole
thing, the whole transition, you are through another portal. Suddenly, you find yourself on a very loose, kind of sandstone cliff edge. Warmer feelings. What are you thinking?
I like this.
Or
I
you
like
just
where
like
this
it?
is going.
No.
I think I know where we are, but I like where this is going. Wander Wharf?
Huh? You're not?
Or Bramble Beach.
Well, you're close to those places.
Yeah.
But you are in a familiar location nearby. And you scale down. And as you are scaling down this kind of more dry, arid cliff area, can you make another perception check for me, please?
No, I actually don't know where we are.
You will in a second.
Wow. Perception, you say?
Yeah.
9.
Okay. So at first you don't notice anything, and then finally you look over a little bit, and standing on a small little ledge right there is a blue furry creature.
Oh, wait.
And the Mojingle looks at you, and he goes, "Shiny things." And he looks at you very confused. You're back on the cliff edge where you found the Mojingle. And you scale down, and then you hear a voice, peek out from beside and be like, "Is that Kia? How fascinating!"
I say, "Hey, Cabot!"
And Cabot quickly pulls out his journal and starts writing as you go through a portal once more.
Wow. How fascinating. It is fascinating, Cabot. It is indeed. Wow. Okay, continue.
Yeah, thank you. You make your way through. Initiative says that you would get to go next here.
Rolled a 10.
I know, but it was just you versus Zarr.
Oh.
Because Gunther's not fighting in that way.
Yeah.
You're holding on to a scraper. You are sliding down through a crazy wild magic storm. Zarr Bloodhoof standing above you, looking like he's going to grab you. I'm going to say you could do something one-handed. You could do some other abilities that you might have, spells, whatever. But you're going to have to be roleplay careful about what you do.
Oh. Do you have it? I have space for one last spell.
Okay.
The real question is, can I do this one-handed? Cast Ensnaring Strike on my sword, and then try to hit Zarr.
What does it say that it is needed? The spell components.
It just says V, but I don't know what that means.
So verbal, so you have to speak it, and that's it.
Yeah.
It just says verbal?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you could do it.
I mean, obviously a weapon.
No, I think you could do it.
Pour out my can, shake it up.
Yeah.
Spray it on my...
While it's still in the sheath at your belt, you spray it onto the...
spray it.
To the knife, sword,
then
spoon.
I pull out my spoon sword.
Spoon sword. It glows with arcane energy as you hold it.
As I hold it and try to swipe at Zarr.
Okay. So roll an attack for me.
Last spell slot of the long rest section. Okay. Attack. Spoon sword. Not bad. 19.
A 19 does hit.
Yay.
So, we'll go ahead and roll your sword damage first.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Takes 9 piercing. It technically says piercing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Damage.
Okay, 9 piercing.
Or
slashing. Doesn't matter too much in this case.
And then you, Zarr, need to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. He is good at these.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But still, you might roll bad.
Ha.
Yeah, let me guess, you rolled a nat 20.
I rolled a nat 20. For the first time ever, my bad guy rolled something good for once. See my beautiful little nat 20.
Oh, wow. Good job. You rolled good for your bad guy.
And so the vines burst out from the sword, wrap around him, start going, and he just looks down. He goes, "Not today." And he uses his other hand and he grabs the vines and he just tears them off of him.
Really thought that would work. I don't have anything else to do because that was my bonus action and my action.
Okay.
Well, actually, I could swipe at him again.
I'm going to say you probably can't in this scenario because
of the
kind of just like one action thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
That's fine.
You guys come back out of that Mojingle portal and you're sliding down the tower once more. You look around you. Please make one more perception check.
Natural 1.
Okay, there's a lot of scarabs. The storm is now centered around the top of the tower, but it is just, there's a lot going on here, and it's a little overwhelming for you.
Can I yell something?
Yeah, you yell whatever you want.
Say, Zarr!
What?
Do you have anything that might attract these scarabs / wild magic storm in your tower? Because if you do, that might be bad.
And he goes, "Look here, whatever your name is.
I love the fact that he still doesn't know my name.
I only care about you and that old turtle trying to tell me how to be me."
Well, depends on who you mean.
There's that old turtle right there.
No.
He's right next. I think he's your grandfather.
I mean, I'm gonna try and psych out Zarr. This is mostly roleplay. No, I mean, who are you? Who is Gunther trying to tell you who to be?
Can you roll a persuasion check right now? I'm going to give you advantage, but it's a high DC because he is a grumpy Gus.
It should get much better than that. So my persuasion is a +0.
Okay.
The highest roll was a 19.
Okay. You notice for a second Zarr's one of his eyes kind of closes, and he kind of looks down at his arm that's all covered in bites and scratches, and he kind of wobbles on his feet a little bit, and then he shakes his head, and he's just like, ugh, get out of my head, and he's going to stabilize himself and kind of crouch down all the way, but he's definitely getting slowly taken over by a feeling that you have felt before. As he stumbles down, you feel that pastel rain intensify. The wind picks up. You see colorful lightning bolts going across the sky. You see
Question.
Yeah?
So the clouds are kind of that like pinky, like
kind of like
multicolored.
Yeah, like metallic, multicolored, shiny.
Okay. The rain is pastel.
Uh-huh.
The lightning. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it just like making you describe the scene. What does the lightning look like?
I was
Does
literally
it look like normal
just
lightning?
about to talk about it.
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh, lightning shoots across the sky. It's that cloud lightning that stays up high.
Yeah.
And it goes across the clouds all cool, like a spider web feathers out.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of greens
Ooh.
and oranges as it zips across. And it's so colorful. It's so crazy. Everything's different. There's like black lightning and then normal lightning. It's pretty weird looking. And this is the first time you've seen lightning like that. You've seen lightning like that in a storm.
Cool. Wait, so I haven't seen it in other wild magic storms?
No, you usually just get the rain. You've heard thunder and whatnot, but you don't. Not lightning like this. You may have seen a flash or something like that.
But not
this is
the
like
multicolored?
Carrying out from the center. Can you please, one more time, roll D100s as you are in this storm still as time goes on?
30.
30.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Suddenly, as you're sliding down, you're starting to get towards the ground. There's only one
story
only like
left.
one story beneath this, right? You look down, and suddenly surrounding the scraper are tiny little green blobs coming into existence. And then suddenly those green blobs unfurl, and little frogs are covering the entire scraper. And one of them looks at you and goes, rabbit, and then jumps off. And they all scatter in different directions as around the caster 20 frogs appear. All of them are passive.
Wait. Do any of them look like Frogrick?
No, this is just wild magic stuff. So no, these are just frogs. They're little tiny frogs.
I know, but I mean like any resemblance in frogginess.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay. I
you
was
look up and
like,
Zarr's got one on his shoulder and he grabs it and he goes, and as it flies away, it goes,
oh,
can you
cute.
please roll for your other two companions? And I'm going to roll for Zarr.
Ooh, because he jumped out now.
Mm-hmm.
Do 100s count?
No, so it becomes a 0 at that point, and it's like 06, basically.
So, well, actually, 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay,
06, you guessed. 6 for somebody, I don't know.
This is just funny. It's just fitting because you're using the effects of Featherfall. I was thinking this would be for Gunther.
Oh.
Feathers sprout from his arms, hands, and feet, and he feels as though he could glide as if affected by the spell Featherfall.
Oh.
Can you roll for Flibbit?
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what Zarr got.
Flibbit gets.
You can re-roll that if it was. Oh.
No, it was 84.
84 for Flibbit. Oh yeah.
What?
I was gonna ask you to roll, but I already rolled for Zarr.
Mm-hmm.
Flibbit.
Does he always get the funny ones?
He gets some silly ones. You look at Flibbit and he goes, "Oh, I feel weird." And then he looks down at his body and he becomes half translucent and has advantage on stealth checks for the next hour.
It's like when he turns black.
Yeah, but this is
dark.
broad stormy daylight, but he becomes somewhat translucent, and you can see through him as if he were like a filled balloon. And he goes, "Oh, that's weird."
Weird.
Yeah.
Half
Okay, so Zarr.
What happens to Zarr?
Wow.
What? What happened? I'm scared.
So, kind of like what had happened to you once upon a time. Chorus of cheering voices. But this is different.
Oh.
The sounds of music suddenly catch your ear, and you see especially Zarr, like orchestral music.
With cheering or not?
Huh?
With cheering?
No, more ethereal, kind of creepy.
Oh.
And Zarr starts looking around and he goes, "Whoa, what the heck?" And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw, which he fails. And suddenly, from another little portal that opens up, a fish comes out.
Is it swimming in the air?
It's swimming in the air, and then two wings unfurl, and it starts flapping in the air. And it has sharp teeth.
It's like a little flying piranha.
And as it comes around, it is in fact a flying piranha.
Wait, really?
Yep. Spins around, looks at Zarr, bares its teeth, and goes for an attack. And it can fly.
Piranha.
And Zarr is going to take a very small amount of damage. 5 damage.
Oh, wow.
From a piranha biting on him with wings.
Wow.
Yep. That's a beautiful thing.
Like, you said teeth, and it was a fish that could fly, and I thought, oh, it's a flying piranha.
That's
And then this
exactly
is
what it is.
actually a flying piranha.
Yep.
Wow. That's great.
Okay. And you guys look down, and suddenly you're almost there, but then another portal opens up. And right before you guys hit the ground, you go through another portal. You come through this portal, and you're still attached to a building, but different than what you're seeing and much taller. Can you please make a perception check for me?
I had suspected that you would do this at one point. Perception.
Yep.
23.
Nice. Fitting because you know this building so well.
Wait, do I? Oh, this is not where I expected to go. Carry on.
I'm not sure where you expected to go. Because you look and you suddenly see a familiar plains of grass.
Oh.
Familiar colossal cliffs in the background. A familiar town down below as you find yourself sliding down the edges of the map's edge scrape.
Wait. Oh, no.
I don't... What?
Question.
Yes, please.
Are we anywhere near the 9th floor?
You started at the top, so absolutely.
Great. I look in the hole.
So as you scroll down and you look in the hole, you see from the inside a Scrayclops creature.
I knew it.
And inside there is just a horde of past world tech being smushed together. And there's a little army of little scraper golems that are being created by this thing. And it looks out your way, and its little blue eye looks at you, and it goes red. And it starts running towards the hole, but you are sliding past it too quickly.
But that thing can climb.
It can climb, but you are sliding down pretty quickly. You got a 23 on your perception check.
Mm-hmm.
You look out towards map's edge. You can see past world plunders. You can see the store, Callie's goods, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet from here, and you're still sliding down the scrape edge. What's up? I love when you get ideas and you're just like, wait. Okay.
I get super ideas that just come to me in the middle and probably don't actually happen. Question.
Yes.
Is Theodora's tower still there?
No.
Precisely.
Precisely what? I am very intrigued now.
Actually, I don't know precisely what, but...
Okay. You don't have a reason why?
Well, I do, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
And you see that Theodora's mobile tower excitement, crazy steampunk thing, not there. Totally gone.
I scan the horizon.
Not anywhere in the horizon. Nothing that you can see. You can see towards Coaster Chaos. You can see towards Briarport. There is nothing.
She could be hidden in the hills near Briarport, I suppose.
Another portal opens up. Right as the Scrayclops leaps out of the hole, starts running down the building high speed. Gunther's like, oh boy. Zarr looks up and he
oh yeah, how does he react to this thing?
Huh? Well, so he had one.
He had one
in his control at one point. And he goes, you there, give me that controller. And he's going to try to grab it from you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw as he goes to grab that controller?
Dexterity, 14.
12.
Oh.
So he goes to grab it. He's just getting too weak, and he can't grab it from you for his turn.
I swipe it away.
You swipe it away, hold it close, and that portal opens up, and you guys start sliding through. And as you're looking down, so many Surge Scarabs coming through. As you come back into Scarlet Hill, you look up, and the Scrayclops leaps off the edge of the building through the portal, and right as it about to collide with you, a bunch of these Surge Scarabs wrap it up and completely cover it and carry it away. And you are looking up at where it was, and these Surge Scarabs are climbing up to the tower so much that they are almost encompassing the tower.
Oh, there's that many?
There are hundreds of these guys.
I shout at Zarr, I knew you shouldn't have been hoarding all that password tech.
And
I wiggle my map at him and say, I have theories.
And he looks up and he goes, no, all my hard work. And Gunther reaches up and pats him and he's like, it's okay, Zax. There will be time, in the future to fix all your misgivings. And he's like, get off me, old turtle. And he shoves him away. As you guys slide the final bit down, you're coming down to the ground. There are a bunch of Surge Scarabs.
So, question, are they all in the tower or are there still a bunch on the ground?
Yes. There's lots.
Well, I mean all on the tower. Are there any on the ground?
No, they're not all on the tower.
Okay.
There's definitely on the ground. You are coming down. What is your plan here in the last 15 feet of sliding? And you see Surge Scarabs. You see them everywhere. They are going over the buildings of Scarlet Hill. They are climbing up the tower. They're ripping apart Passworld tech that they're finding.
Kia gets really angry because she hates seeing Passworld tech destroyed.
It's true, she does.
And so she is going to try and see for the last 10 feet. She's going to try and see if she can make the what did you call it? The Scrabominable Snowman?
Yeah, the Scrabominable Snowman.
Let go.
Okay.
Are there any Surge Scarabs directly beneath us?
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, easy enough to figure out. There's a couple buttons. Zarr had them labeled. Mm-hmm. One was for moving, one was for turning, one was for punching. And the punching one is held as it's, going down. So you press it again and it releases and you go out. Gunther goes out too. But as you start falling at a more terminal velocity, Gunther's new feathers.
Actually, neither of us.
Oh, that's true. Gunther, you, and Flibbit, actually, kind of hilariously, still descending at a slow speed. The scraper lets go, and for that last 15, 20 feet, terminal velocity speeds up. And
how many Surge Scarabs does it squish?
Can you roll an athletics, or no, how about a dexterity saving throw? Just roll a d20 and add 3.
Oh, add 3, so not my dex save?
Not yours, this guy's.
16.
16. It is able to land on its feet, and it comes down and it does the Iron Man 3-point landing. And it takes out probably a dozen of these Surge Scarabs, and the cloud of dust and explosion pushes a bunch of them back in a little circle. As you guys slowly descend, are you aiming to land back on the scraper? Okay.
Yeah.
You're easily able to do that with Featherfall.
I wanted it to squish things.
It squished many things.
Yeah, I am for the robot.
Okay. You're fine. You were right beneath it. You don't really need to roll. You drift down, And you are able to re-grab onto the scraper.
Wait. Zarr was on the shoulders of the scraper.
And so, as you look down and you land on the scraper, you notice that Zarr Bloodhoof he reached out to try to grab you guys, didn't work, and he falls with that thing. As it hit the ground and did its 3-point landing, Zarr landed hard on the ground.
Oh, no.
And you see Zarr Bloodhoof there, unconscious, at the feet of this scraper.
Okay. That makes it easier. Question.
Yes.
As I land on the scraper,
Uh-huh.
are Gunther and Flibbit, like,
Yeah,
Flibbit,
they all
obviously.
they all basically had the same ability as you because of this, so yeah.
I want to see I can make the Scribominable Snowman pick up Zach's Billsworth.
Zach's Billsworth. You reach down and you're able to control this thing to have it follow your commands. It's easy enough with the thing. It's not an overly complicated machine. It kind of has a little bit of sentience in its own right. And you have it reach down. It scoops up Zarr/Zax in its arms like a little baby.
Aww.
And even though they're almost the same size, because it was a little bit bigger, but not by much.
Yeah.
But it's easy.
Wasn't it like 12 feet tall?
Scoop up Zarr, hold him in his arms. You, Gunther.
He's unconscious, right?
Yep, he's unconscious.
Great.
You, Gunther, Flibbit. Flibbit's like, we gotta go.
I press forward, I guess.
You scroll
into
that
the city.
wheel into the city, and this thing starts running.
As I start heading into the city, then I remember something. I turn wherever in the direction, in my mind it was to the left of the door, but it can be any direction you want, towards the maintenance shed.
Toward the maintenance shed. Well, you're on the outside of the tower.
Yeah.
So that would lead you back in.
No. Isn't the maintenance shed on the outside of the tower? It's like connected.
Well, yeah, but that took you into City Hall Tower.
Yeah.
So you want to go back into City Hall Tower?
No. I want to go towards the maintenance shed.
Okay.
Just like towards it.
So you think for a second, you turn the thing, it picks up Zarr, you take a left, yes, it was a left, around the tower, and you know the maintenance shed is nearby.
Okay. I start looking around for the maintenance shed.
I mean, yeah, it's there. You know where it is. Well, I don't know what you're trying to do, so I'm just like, yeah, go for it.
Is it covered by by scarabs at all?
No, they were not seeming to be over this area, but they're following you. Like, you look behind you and you see that they're recovering, and now the surge scarabs are coming towards you.
I shout really loud at the garden shed.
Okay.
Are you in there, Mom?
If you're thinking about whether or not she'd be in there still.
That's what I was thinking of, because there's two options. Either she's still in there or she left to escort.
A decent amount of time has passed, and when you left those prisoners, you were 100-foot room away from the shed. I mean, you get the feeling that she's leading them back to the theater with Thaddeus Clodsworth.
I guess. So,
yeah, you yell. She's not there. You find yourself on the side route in Scarlet Hill. The city's massive. The big red flower blooms around City Hall, coming to an end on this nice road. City buildings all the way around you. You know there's gates to try to leave, but the main one is the main one. And so you know that one because that's where you came in.
Wait, gate?
Yeah, to leave the city.
Oh, right.
If that's what you're trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to do. But you look behind you and you do see surge scarabs coming towards you.
I head in the general direction of the theater. Not the exact street pattern, but the general direction.
You sprint on the back of this thing.
Taking as many complicated turns as possible.
Okay. Roll for me a...
3 lefts to take a right.
I don't know. Roll for me a deception check.
Deception check. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's basically what you're trying to do here.
Yeah. My deception is a +0, but I got a 19.
Okay. You start bounding through the city, and another flash of lightning, and you look up, and you see that there's more surge scarabs. And are they still on the tower? It's hard to tell, but you look up, and there's some coming over the building after you. This is like a tidal wave of these things.
Oh.
And there are so many.
Are there
here.
any people that I see?
Every time you see people, there are some people that you're starting to pass by screaming, trying to close the doors. There's surge scarabs trying to break through walls and doors. You see some people teleporting away, who knows where. As you guys bound through the city, there's chaos happening. So you start making your way towards the theater.
But in theory, all the surge scarabs, what they do is they make you pass out and relive things, relive memories. Kia mutters to herself, "I'll have some questions to ask Beryl."
Beryl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Beryl specifically,
okay.
In fact.
Keep those in mind because you take a corner and you see the front of the road that you take the corner to, surge scarabs blocking your path.
Okay.
You turn and you see some behind you coming towards you.
Are there any alleys that are big enough?
There's one alley that seems like you could take. It's going to lead you back towards the main street. Do you take that turn?
Yeah.
You take that turn. You head out. As you come out into the main street, can you make one perception check for me, please?
Oh, did you take into account my deception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure did.
Perception. Another 19 for a 24.
Okay. You suddenly get out into this main street, and Gunther's like, "Wait, no.
What?
Stop."
What?
And you
stop it?
Stop the thing. You stop the thing, and you look around, and you see what Gunther was looking at. And there are surge scarabs everywhere around you.
Oh.
To the point where you are seeing them come over buildings. They're filling up the streets, and they're all rushing towards you. And then right as they about clamber up the scraper, they stop. Every single one in the city comes to an abrupt halt.
Aha.
And
maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you know.
It's maybe an aha. Maybe.
They all stop, and they're all sitting there like breathing, little wisps of dark magic coming off of them.
I make no sudden movements.
Okay, make no
or
sudden
sounds.
Movements. And suddenly you hear the squeaking, squeak, crack, pop, crack, pop, crack, pop, chugging.
Aha.
As a tower of much shorter stature rolls into town.
My aha was correct.
And comes to a stop as the surge scarabs part ways for Theodora's tower. Rising up to the top of her little 2-story tower, because it's in truncated form.
It's in truncated.
It's a little truncated form right now. Little elevator. Boop, boop, boop. And peeking out from the top is a goggles-wearing, white-haired grandma lady. And she rises up, and she looks around, and she just goes, "Bless your stars, honey."
I knew Theodora was going to turn out evil. I knew it. I knew it from the moment she said it.
And Gunther goes, "Thea, what are you doing?"
I pat his shoulder.
And he puts his hand up on your hand, and he's like, What's going on?"
Well, let me explain. In fact, let Theodora explain.
And she goes, Honey, all you needed to do was get me those surged artifacts. I couldn't get you to call. I couldn't get you to write. And you only sent me half of them. If I had had all of them, none of this would have had to happen. But you just kept them all to yourself.
Now, Theodora, I'd like to tell you why I kept them all to myself. It wasn't because of greed, although they were helpful. But it was because I just couldn't trust you.
Ooh.
And when you called and said that to give you, just to make sure that I got all the surged artifacts, I knew that I just couldn't. Not because I was incapable of actually getting them, as I have, but because you were up to something.
Well, honey, that was accurate. And I applaud your intelligence. I applaud your tenacious paranoia.
Tenacious paranoia. What a sentence.
Thank you. But it don't matter now because I'm willing to do what needs to be done to fix this world. And all I need is your surged artifacts. And that one from Zach's, too. And Gunther's like, Theodora, what do you mean? You knew?
I pat his
You
shoulder
knew
again.
it was Zach's all along? And she goes, sorry, Gunther, the world's broken, and I think I'm the only one who can fix it.
How far away is this tower?
I mean, probably 100 feet. If you were trying to do something, you could maybe do it, but something's about to happen.
Theodora, by
Yes, Kia?
any chance, what's your idea of fixing the world?
She says, I only wanted to bring hope back. Something that we used to have before magic was stripped away from everybody.
Wait, was she alive? She's human. Or is she? Wait, she's not human, is she? Oh, no.
And she goes, I just wanted to give people the power to shape their own destinies again. But it's going to first start with me. And
Of course.
Yeah, and you see her.
Every evil villain, it always starts with them.
And she holds up her hand and she's like, I never needed any of this to happen, but sometimes the path to healing comes with great sacrifice.
I
And
scroll forward the mouse wheel.
You scroll forward the mouse wheel, and your thing starts running towards her. But she holds up her hand, and all of these surge scarabs start swarming the scrabominable snowman. And a slash, and a cut, and a bite. And like a wave as he's trying to push through, you, Flibbit, Gunther are all
Wait,
scratched.
I guess. Oh, do they attack Zarr?
They attack Zarr, yes.
Oh no, he's unconscious.
I know. And not like this, though. They...
Unconscious damage.
I know. And suddenly, you guys, the scraper is overwhelmed. It starts tipping forward. You guys all four fall forward.
I
roll.
feather fall.
You float forward. You land on the ground, and you're all kind of sitting there. You, Zax, or Zarr, Gunther, Flibbit.
Wait, can Flibbit sit?
Well, he's flopped on the ground.
Okay.
And slowly your eyes start closing, the black edges of vision coming in.
Okay. Wait, I have to check the rules.
Okay, I'm very confused.
I have to check the rules. Perfect.
What are you doing?
Perfect. Wait, how many times can I do this?
I don't know what you're trying to do.
A fancy thing that I can do, but I have to check it first. Make sure that I can do it. Okay. As I begin to pass out,
Uh-huh.
final action, final spell,
Okay.
I'm going to cast Etherealness
Okay.
on myself.
And what
The
pray
duration?
tell does that do?
The duration is up to 8 hours. So, per quote the thingy, the description,
Okay.
it says, you step into the border regions of the ethereal plane in the area where it overlaps with your current plane. You remain in the border ethereal for the duration or until you use your action to dismiss the spell. During this time, you can move in any direction. If you move up or down, every foot of movement costs an extra foot. You can see and hear the plane you originated from, but everything there looks gray, and you can't see anything more than 60 feet away. While on the ethereal plane, you can only affect and be affected by other creatures on that plane. Creatures that aren't on the ethereal plane can't perceive you and can't interact with you unless a special ability or magic has given them the ability to do so. Ignore all objects and effects that aren't on the ethereal plane, allowing you to move through objects you perceive on the plane you originated from.
Ooh, boy.
I'm not necessarily expecting this to keep me from passing out,
Mhm.
but the duration is up to 8 hours.
So you're expecting that she can't get to the things she wants.
Can't touch me, can't see me, can't anything me, unless if she can portal into the ethereal plane. Which, honestly, maybe she can do. I don't know.
So I think what I want to happen is I want you to make for me a roll. And we're going to let you decide whether this roll is an Arcana check or a sleight of hand check.
Because seeing if I can cast it?
Seeing if you can cast it before the effects of a pass out take you over. Because in the past, we have talked about this being a very quick thing for you.
Sleight of hand or Arcana?
I think so. I think sleight of hand, Arcana, or I think those are the two that I'm going to say.
My sleight of hand is better.
Okay. I just want to see if you can get this off like you're hoping before, because I did say you were already losing vision sight.
Oh, wait, hang on. No! The worst possible roll, a natural 1 for a 4.
Okay, that's all I got to say is you go to cast Etherealness.
So do I cast it?
I think you don't cast it.
Okay, so I can still save my slot.
Yeah, you can save your slot. I think it was a great idea, but just with the nature of this, casting a spell like that in this moment would be hard. You reach out, you start turning like Back to the Future, your hand starts becoming ethereal. The spell is just taking too long. It's too slow. And finally, this particularly large surge scarab comes over, looks down at you, and you look up at it, and feel like you're just about to go through the ethereal plane, and it just reaches down and headbutts you. And you finally go unconscious.
Oh, funny.
Fade to black.
Oh my god.
I
thought, wait. I just thought you were about to do a smash cut to what's his name?
To Carl?
Yeah. I don't know why, but like you were talking about the surge scarabs and everything, and for some reason I thought you would do a flash cut to Carl.
Okay, well now we have to. We'll do that first. Fade to black, smash cut. You see a beach. You see a palm tree. You see 2 coconut shells, and you see 2 gentlemen, Carl and Brad, watching the sun rise. Rises in the
east.
That's in the a sun
rises in the east, sets in the west.
Yeah.
And if my theory is correct, they are indeed in the east.
They are on the east. A sunrise. Carl, Brad, pat each other on the shoulder. Carl goes, "Man, who knew surfing to the east would have been the best thing we ever did?" And Brad's like, "I know, man, right on." And then they cheers coconut shells and drink coconut milk together as a little crab comes out and gives them a nod of respect.
Wait. Now, in this very funny and seemingly peaceful moment, I guess nobody in particular, does anything happen after Crab nods?
In this vision?
Yeah.
No. Okay. What were you thinking?
Just wondering if Carl and Brad, the best thing that ever happened to them. I was wondering if it turned out not to be the best thing that happened to them.
We don't know, because fades to black again. You suddenly, your eyes open up, and you find yourself pretty deciduous forest, leaves falling.
Question.
Uh-huh.
Were the Stormwoods deciduous?
Storm parts, yeah, a lot of the parts were deciduous, yeah. Yeah, kind of Stormwoods-esque, sure. You find yourself coming to, and you're kind of blinking your eyes, and you're sort of looking around a little bit.
I look around for a pool.
You look around for a pool, no pool nearby.
Okay.
And then you go up to scratch your head, and you feel something on kind of like the front top part of your head, right about hairline.
Or like in front of my ear?
Well, there's no ear there. There's something hard. You grab it,
and
you follow, and then you follow the other side, and you realize it comes to a nice sharp point, and you look down at your hands, and they're furry, and there's a pool of water nearby, and you clamber over, and you look in it, and staring back up at you in this reflection is not Kia at all, but Zax Billsworth, the furbolg.
Oh, I thought I'd been turned into like a scraper or something.
And you look down and you adjust your glasses and you realize that you are in this body of young Zarr Bloodhoof.
Wait.
What do you say in this moment?
Wait.
As you're looking at your reflection.
Am I still knowledge that I'm Kia,
yes.
though? Okay. Say, that's what he looked like. Horns are pointy. That's what I say.
Yep. And then next to you, you see another creature sit up, a young turtle person.
Wait,
Pretty fit.
Oh, no.
Pretty Gunther-esque. And then you see another person sit up. And
it's...
Huh?
Wait.
And it's a middle-aged rabbit woman. And
No.
And
as soon as you said young Gunther, I understood.
Yeah. Gunther stands up and he goes, a little bit stronger voice, he goes, "Whoa, wow, I feel so different." And then the voice of Tilda opens up. I feel really weird, guys.
No. Flip it. Oh, no. I was wondering what you do to flip it. Oh.
And then as you look down at your feet and you stand up, you realize you have hooves. You stand up to about 7 feet tall. And you find yourself
exactly
7
feet
foot tall. And you wake up in the storm woods. And maybe you'll learn a little bit more about Mr. Zarr Bloodhoof next time we play.
Wait. Oh, no. Aha!
No, Miss Aha, what's up? I like to hear your theories because they're fun.
Because they're not what you expect at all. So... there were figures that stood up, and they turned out to be young Tilda, young Gunther, and young Zax Billsworth, as his name goes. See, but there were 4 people.
There were.
That got bitten. And so, were we transported back into the past? Perhaps. But Zarr wasn't.
That's not what's happened in the last time you got attacked by surge scarabs.
But I was still me.
Yep.
So... we got body swapped, as you would say, like Freaky Friday style.
Yeah.
Or, well, actually, no. Yes, that's my theory. And in the meantime, while Zarr, perhaps... Okay, this is my weirdest theory yet, I think.
Okay.
What if me and Zarr body swapped? Like, not just in the vision.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
And
like,
so...
Oh,
Theodora kidnapped... Okay. My theory is that Theodora kidnapped the unconscious me, I say with air quotes, not realizing that me and Zarr body swapped, and realizing that she had actually captured Zarr. It's possible, but...
No. So, let me
I told
you
it was my weirdest theory, and I didn't think it would be...
set up the scene that you do realize that this is another flashback. Just like you have had before. But this time, you have gone so far back.
I'm not
that you
alive.
Weren't even alive at this point.
And so,
and
the vision had to put me
bit
in
of
something.
Body swamping nonsense has happened at this time, but for whatever reason, Zarr is not in this group, but you are Zax Billsworth.
The vision had to put me in something.
Yep.
Because if you go too far back to where you're not alive, then technically, how do you do that, right? And so the vision had to put me in something, swap the theory, so that, and therefore, and since Flibbit probably wasn't alive at this time, or at least not in the same plane, the vision, or / pass out bug / surge scarab, had to put us in something.
Yep.
And so... found the nearest.
I think you're getting too worried about the.
I don't know. I'm getting logistical.
I will just say yes. You are reliving someone else's memory, because you got all affected at the same time, and so you are in someone's memory that you are getting to experience. It's just not yours.
Oh. Okay.
It's basically Inception.
It's Inception. Perfect. Well, except it's not a dream.
I know, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
You are living someone else's memory.
Okay.
As a side note, that's all for this week.
Logistics aside.
How'd you feel about the Theodora reveal? Sounds like you've been expecting it.
I have. Maybe not as the controller of the Surge Scarabs, but as a major villain, yes, totally. Like, from possibly after possibly the moment that I realized that Theodora was the only one that wasn't teleported away. I knew that
you had
something was off.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. We're closing in on the big bad. Maybe it's not the big bad we thought after all.
Oh, and I would like to side note add that actually I've been minorly suspicious of Theodora from the very beginning because I asked, remember when I asked Flibbit to spy on her?
Mm-hmm. And what did she do?
She did nothing. She was perfectly normal. But he spied on her, and I've been mildly suspicious of her since the very beginning.
That's true.
She's got a cool tower. You know what's
Too
also
cool.
a perfect villain lair? A cool tower.
That's true.
So.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening in to another episode
of
Dadventurous. Hope you're enjoying it. Tell your friends. Leave a review.
Leave a comment.
Like stuff.
Stuff?
Yep. All those things. We appreciate it.
Good vibes.
Yes,
send good vibes
out into the universe and out to your friends.
And we might feel them. Probably not.
Maybe,
I don't know.
All right, we will see you guys next time on
Dadventurous.